Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Well, I think I'm going to have to probably talk a little bit louder then. G'day everyone, and how is everyone doing today? Can you hear my voice and see my charts? I thought I'd start a little bit later today than our usual time. I know that it said that I was supposed to start about an hour ago on the stream, but that's just because the times have changed in New York, so we just didn't adjust for that. So thank you for joining me. So we start. Make sure everything I say is just for entertainment purposes, and when you're trading, there's a lot of risk in the market, so make sure you do your own due diligence. So I'm just looking at the market here today. We've got the fractal frenzy up here. So what I have done is I've got, if we see here, oh yeah, well, that's a shame. So I've got the fractal frenzy here, which shows the London, because I have changed it so that we don't use the New York time for this particular time, because obviously we want to capture the London hour. If I was to use the New York time for this one, it would catch the Frankfurt hour, which is not the hour that we want to capture, but we do want to use the New York time for the Asia and Tokyo, because the Tokyo they don't adjust, they don't have a time difference, so they will just go off the New York time. Australia does have an hour change, but that's not until next the beginning of next month. So I have got the Oz box just here, just so that we can see where it is when we switch. And so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the box so it doesn't show during while I've got this on up. Now as we can see, let's have a quick look on the daily. What we've got here is we've had kind of a retracement, picked up a bunch of liquidity here, and we've had a day, Monday, where we had a big expansion day to the top side. We've had a bit of a gap here left behind, which I've just put down here, and as we can see, we sort of traded back into that, and on sort of the lower time frame, we've traded away with it with a bit of gusto during the Tokyo session today. So what I am wanting to see is I'm not really wanting to trade to the downside today. So if it does come down here, then I'll just call it a no trading day. What I'm wanting is for price to sort of reject off this Oz box today, and to show signs that it's going to be going the other direction. as we can see here, we are still 20 minutes from this hour being completed, and then we'll see how we go. In the meantime, if anyone wants to ask any questions or has any markets they wish for me to... Oh my goodness, my thing's super blurry, isn't it? Any pairs that you want me to look at, or indices or whatever, I can have a look at that. I did have a trade this week that I can go through. I've been quite fortunate the start of this year. I only started sort of trading in February, but I'll take you through my trade that I have. And also I've been looking a lot into the earn as you learn stuff, just to have something else to sort of look at. So I've been using the System 3 because that generally seems to be working through Asia, and I've been getting some pretty good results with it, so I'm quite happy with that. But let's have a look at, let's see, so it was the US-JP pair. So this is what I had this week. So as we can see, we are still trading here. This high created this low, as you can see, and it has just been trading inside this area. So when it is in this area, I'm looking generally for long trades, and when it is in this area, I am generally looking for short trades. Now, what we had at the start of the week, we had a push to the downside, and I'll have to get the old fractal frenzy up again. We've got the Tokyo box here. I'll put it in the 5 minute. Again, push to the downside. It broke to the downside, and this is one of the things that I really like, the build-up of liquidity. When it breaks to the downside and you think that it's come back, and for some traders they'll think, oh, you know, it's come back into this fair value gap, and then it pushes lower. So if you look at if I pull this back here, for instance, and let's just crop this down, and let's just go down onto the 1 minute just so we can have a bit more clarity here. As you can see here, we've had a big push to the downside, okay, and it does pull back, and obviously it will pull back to some sort of Fibonacci here in order for it to continue, but it doesn't continue very far. And what happens is it builds up sort of liquidity here, and here for it to come back and get into trades. So give an opportunity for people like me to get into trades, whereas I will not take a trade that doesn't go past this 50% mark, which is, you know, just price is fractal, like I explained on the 4 hour as we looked. I want to be in a premium trading to the downside, or a discount trading to the bull side. Same thing applies here. If we draw up this fib, same thing. This is the discount, this is premium, and this is my nice little area that I really love to get into trades from, this like golden zone. Just from when, if I can get in right there, for instance, if I'm going with the overall trend, which is what we are at the moment, then I can get in there. Sorry, no. Let me take back. So it hasn't retraced, and then it broke down further. So when it doesn't retrace enough, I will then take my fib there, for instance, and then wait for it to come back to this area. Now, a lot of overlapping confluences here. We've got this sort of low, high, and then push through, and you've got this nice little area here. This support becomes resistance kind of area. You can call it a breaker block or whatever you want to call it. It's also nicely within this fib area, and it's very similar to where the 50% mark is on the breakout of the Asian DR. So we'll go back onto the 5 minute, and as you can see, I've got a trade sitting there waiting for price to return. As I said, I am going with the overall trend because the UJ has been bearish, and I'm in the premium wanting to go to the downside. So I just waited for it to come in. Gave me a little bit of a hair raise for a moment right there, and then started coming my way. And the rest, as they say, is history. I had to wait a little while for that one to be over. Like I say, when it comes back to here, I'm getting a nice risk to reward of 3. If I'm going against the trend, then I'll have my stop loss here, which gives me just a little over 2 as well, which is quite nice as well. So I also like the fact that obviously it's broken to the downside, so it's very unlikely that this top side is going to be taken during this this session. With over a 70% confirmation that happens. Not the fact that it would push any lower, but just the fact that this side gets taken, this side will not get taken for the rest of that particular session, which I think a lot of people get confused. Right, let's have a quick look, see where we're at with GU. We pushed even lower, so we're going to have to go back. So it's pushed through at the moment. I know this is here, but as I said before, I'm using the New York time, which is this one right here. But I'm having to switch to the EU time because this is the Frankfurt hour. We don't want to account for the Frankfurt hour. So we'll switch back to that. It looks like it might be coming to claim a little bit extra liquidity from under here. This is not looking great for me to want to trade this today for a number of reasons. One, I'm looking for a bull trade to go with my sort of narrative, and two, it seems to be going to both sides of the Australian or the Asian range. So usually when that happens, you probably don't want to be trading unless you've back tested sort of the what's it called, the trombone, the what's it called, seek and destroy style of method of trading, which is not going to be as high success rate. Yes, if that is what it's pronounced, I'm not going to even trompeta costetta kinete. Is that have I pronounced that correctly? And also with the accent, was the accent okay? Was it on point? Hey, I've been spending a bit of time over that side of the world, recently. So, picking up the culture. I'm becoming a very cultured Australian. I'm actually no, I'm not going back to Europe. Or no, technically I am because I'm going to. I don't know. Is the UK still considered part of Europe? I don't know. But I'm going to Egypt in a couple of weeks. I'm going to go and see what these temples are all about. And then I'm going to be going back to the UK for a couple of weeks as well. So, I don't know. Is yeah, it is? Okay, cool. So Egypt is pretty close to Austria, isn't it? Isn't it, Maxi? You can pop over and say hey. Yeah, I feel like this is the only way I'm gonna be able to get a trade off this is if we get something like a kind of a push down, that sort of movement, but I don't like it. It's no bueno, as they say in Spanish. Let's have a look at some other pairs. See if we can. So I'm gonna look at other pairs, but generally during London I only trade GU. So if I do take, especially if I do take any trades on any other pairs, they would be completely hypothetical and not actually what I would do, because I would just stick to GU. I just thought I'd mention that. Let's have a quick look at EU. Let's see what that's doing. It's doing a very similar thing. Let's just get where. Yeah, again. The only thing I can be thinking is it's just coming to collect some session liquidity. For those who are relatively new to my style, I do like to trade a bit of session liquidity as well. Generally, what tends to happen is that you have various sessions during the day, especially when prices moved a lot. And let's say we start off with the Asia session, you'll have price makes a low and a high, and then during the London session, price likes to take that sort of session liquidity and go to the other side. So it's taken this and this, and then during London, during New York, it'll come do that a lot. This is the typical seek and destroy style of trading, where you haven't got a lower low, higher lower high, higher high situation like you would usually get. Price is just trying to build up liquidity, and it's usually followed after when price has made a big movement in one typical direction. So if we go back and actually look, so as we see here, last week, was it last week? No, this is this week. Oh, I'm only on the 4 hour. What am I talking about? Let's go. So here we go. So you're on the daily here. So last week we had the Monday here, and it absolutely dropped. It's taken all of this liquidity, it's taken all of that liquidity, it's taken all of this liquidity, and it's taken a lot of people's stop losses, it's taken a lot of people's sell stops, buy stops, and there's a whole bunch of liquidity that has been used up. So what does it do when it moves a particular direction? It has to start building up liquidity, which is when you have these big 1, 2 big drops, he tends to have, even if you look at each day, this day here, there's a high, there's a low. You've got the low taken that day, and 2 highs have not been taken. The low gets taken again, and the low gets taken, and the high gets taken. So it tends to not have too much in the way of your typical structure that you were taught with, your higher highs and your lower lows. And it just says, hey, you want to have your stop loss above this higher high? Well, I'm going to take that stop loss. Hell, you want to put that stop loss below your lower low? Oh, I'm going to take that stop loss too. And it's an annoying day or week to trade when you first sort of begin, and you kind of don't, until you sort of notice when you get these type of markets. Every time you could almost go back and see every time. Obviously this is a little bit different, but you get these big bullish candles, and then you get a lot of this consolidation, and generally when you go back, I still have let's just have a quick look, see whether these sessions are still, no, this was to do with my fractals, so not quite, but this will be about right. There you go. So it's got each session. What does it do towards the end of the session? Takes the previous session, then goes to the other session. This is always nice. This is one I like to trade quite a lot when you've got this big move one day, and then you've got this session that stays inside the previous session. And then quite often when you get that, then you have a very high likelihood of a session after that to break one side, then break to the other side. But as you can see, it's a lot of session liquidity built up. It's the same as it's just any other kind of liquidity. As soon as you know where it is, it becomes easier to look at it. And then obviously you have the smaller session liquidities within the session liquidity, which is why this 90-minute cycles is quite a nice little indicator to have on. Just so you can have, even now you can see that this is taken the downside. This top side hasn't been taken, but it has taken the previous session. So another reason why I was kind of hoping for a bullish trade. This hasn't been taken, as we can see, high, low, high, low. I would say once this gets taken, we kind of want to be aiming towards there, but it looks like it's going to be retaking this low, or it might not. At the moment it hasn't yet, but we shall see. We've still got 4 minutes before the hour is completely closed, and then hopefully, generally what I tend to do on days like today, or in fact most of the time, is if I was, let's go back up, I don't like trading EU, except for the old earn as you learn number 3. That's pretty good to trade on EU. That's been doing very well. Recently it's been a bit iffy, but you're still making money, which is always good. But what I'll do once this closes, I'll set an alert to the bottom and I'll set an alert at the top, and then I'll just get on with my day. It's 8 PM here in Australia. Oh, we are getting a little bit of a push. It's got to go a long way before it claims a high, though. That's the only problem, which is why I was kind of hoping for this, and it still might, but I don't think it's going to do it in 2 minutes. Which is the problem if I'm looking for a bullish trade, and then if it does like this, what I was hoping it to do, it's going to break this low, which is then going to invalidate it, because as we know, if it breaks this low, it's going to be very unlikely in this session that this high is going to be taken. But we'll see. We're getting a little bit of a bullish push now. It's kind of, if it does not break this low, the other thing that it could do is if it comes all the way up here, and then this would have to come, oh, this would have to come down here, sort of thing. That'd be the other thing that I'd be looking for. Oh, let's get rid of that. And then I would just be getting in off that, etc., etc. Like I say, none of this is financial advice. I already did this disclaimer, I think. I don't do it quite as well as Jezza, I know, but I'm just not as eloquent with my words. One thing that I did not check, and a bit of a rookie error on my part, was I did not check news for today. So let's just have a quick check of that. And we don't really have anything until consumer price. Oh, consumer price at what would that be? That would be 10, 9, 8, half 8 New York in the morning. That might explain why we're going to be getting a bit of a we might be getting a bit of a nothing session during this session. I'm just going to pop it out there. Unfortunately, people might be saving up their big bucks for the CPI trading. And as we can see, you know, this candle here has been completely engulfed in one. It's not even what's it, 2 minutes. So it looked like a pretty nice candle at the time, didn't it? And then this is the reason why we have to wait for confirmation, because this sort of stuff can happen. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, gee, you failed me, really. Like, I'm out here by myself. I'm doing the stream all by myself. You think you could help someone out, you know, help a guy out and do something interesting, so that I can talk about something interesting and be like, oh, hey, look at this. This is doing a something. So maybe we should get in on a trade here. Not that this is financial advice, but. Looks like we're going to be getting a bit of a pants session, so I apologise for those of you who are watching live. Let's have a quick look at the old DXY. DXY was lovely at the start of the week, and it wasn't something that I was actively trading, but I saw. At the start of the week we had a lovely big gap here that just came and price came and traded. But if you look at it on things like, well, there you go, it's going. Let's just have a quick look to see where. Okay, so it's passed through the, yeah. So this will be my sort of general thought prediction wise, because we are going to be expecting CPI. I imagine that no one's stop losses are going to be too safe during this next little session. So obviously if you go into the bear side here, you've had your stop loss taken out, and I would imagine that you're going to eventually have this taken out as well, because CPI can be a little bit of an annoying one. What was I saying? Ah yes, let's have a look. Start of the week, really lovely. Again, let's just have a make sure. We had the DR box there. That's the Asian. I'm just going to leave that there because I'm going to change it to New York time. And as you can see, during New York, it came back perfectly, came back to it. And as we can see, this big old gap right here. And for those who have seen my streams before, would know that I love me a gap. I love gaps so much that I even make them up sometimes just so that I can trade them. But as you can see here, we push down. Even if you want to take a 15-minute high, so let's just say this is the high that created this new low. As you can see here, it then got pushed to the top side, coming into the gap. And let's see, where should we take our fib from? Well, this is the low, but if we take it to here, this has already been fulfilled. As you can see, it's come back here, so therefore I will just move that up. Oh. And that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. It never comes back, never comes back. Doesn't quite, it does dig in a little bit to the discount here, but as you can see, it just a little bit doesn't come into my golden zone. And then it does actually, it goes way past my my golden area there. So I would have been in a little bit of hurt for a little while, but if you had traded it towards just filling the gap, you would have had a very nice little shunting, you know, by the end of the session. By the end of the New York session, it looks like. Yeah. That's it, Maxi. Yeah, gotta save that money to gamble it later. Whew. All right. So that's something I used to teach quite a lot. The closing of the gap at the start of the week. It's a nice little something that you can sort of look at. As you can see, let's have a look at the previous week. Didn't quite actually, so it doesn't happen all the time, obviously. Which is, and obviously the other downside is sometimes the gap just doesn't. Oh, there's a gap here. There's a little gap here, and look, it got filled in. Kind of a one and done for the week, but hey, if it works more often than it doesn't, and you can get a decent risk to reward, then why not? Sometimes there's no gap that forms, so that's why sometimes it can be a bit sucky. Yeah, so no gap here. So yeah, Doesn't happen every week, but on weeks where you kind of get this nice big gap, you kind of go, oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. Tell you what, EU, you suck. GU, how are you? You are a little bit better, but you still suck as well, unfortunately. At least with GU, you've still got the 0.5 to aim for there. But I wouldn't be taking that trade. Hell no, I wouldn't be taking that trade. Excuse me for saying hell. Alright. If we have no questions, with these gaps and the stats, I always wonder how these super small gaps affect the stats, because they get filled pretty much every time. Yeah, they well, they do act as pretty good support and resistance as well, though. That's the thing. I always loved the what is it that the ITC in the circle trader ICT. One of the first things that I sort of really gravitated towards was the NWOG, the new week opening gap. That's it. You got it. You got it. Even though there's the delay, you got it there before I did, Maxi. You're making me look bad. And I like it on the DXY, because you can just like, if you know which way the DXY goes, you just, like, for instance, if the DXY is bullish, you just got to find, you know, a pair that's looking like it's bearish. If you have a pair where the USD pair is at the end of the pair, and otherwise, if you've got something like UJ, you want to be looking for bullish when DXY is bullish. But if you pull that across, you can see it kind of gravitates towards it, and you know, it pushes. It does act a little bit of resistance here, and then it acts as support here, and now it's pushing higher. Let's just have a quick look at the old 4 hour. Yeah, so we've had here we've had a big push up, and again, you know, price is fractal. When it's on such a grand scale as the 4 hour or the daily, I tend to want to just, again, I won't look for an OTE. It'd be nice if it came down to the OTE, but generally, if it's pushed higher and it comes back into discount, then I'm all good to get down into sort of lower time frames and looking for bullish trades. As you can see here, this is not what I usually use, but let's go with that one. You can use that one, or you can use, what's it, Gambox, same but difference. You know, as soon as it gets into this area, drop down to the older lower time frame, and then that's where you want to be looking for sort of similar things. And as you can see, it's kind of come back for some liquidity here. Personally, I still think this is pretty early to be going all the way up here. I do expect it to eventually. I would actually like it to come a bit further down before it pushes higher, but that could be what happens during CPI. As I said, you know, we've gone, we've taken this high here, and we've taken it again, but these here, this relatively equal lows, they have been not taken, and we've got a lot of sort of stuff and things over here which haven't been looked at here, which is in your OTE. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have the DXY pushing lower, which therefore, if you're trading the pairs where you've got the USD at the end, you will be looking for, if this is going this way, I'm not saying that it will, but if it does, then that means EU, AU, GU will be going up, and USD will be going down, most likely. So looks like it's really come and grabbed. Yeah, it's just come and grabbed some liquidity from up here. So it might be coming down to start doing what I thought it was going to do in the first place. But unfortunately, because this top half has been, or this bottom half, for instance, has been violated in the old breakout, I can't be a part of this trade, and that's just the way it is. And things will never change. Alright, so I started a little bit early, even though you guys didn't hear me. I've got about another sort of 10-15 minutes, so if there's any questions, please feel free to add them now. Otherwise, I'm going to have a quick look at gold to see what that's been doing, because I haven't looked at gold for a little while, and I have had some really good stats over the last little while on gold, but I think the previous 2 weeks have both been duds in regards to trading it. So let's see if this this week has been any better. Alright, so it's Wednesday, so Sunday. I mean, generally, actually, if you had taken a sort of trade on last week, it actually wouldn't have been. It would have been pretty good all the way up until, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, which is generally when you want to be out of the trade anyway, because generally it has a high percentage of getting the other high or low of the week on those days. Very not rarely. I had the statistics, so it's not that rare, but you do get the Friday session opposite high or low. But if you look at the very first candle of the week of last week, and you've got this right here, draw a little box around it, and you wait for price to jump out of that. As you can see here, it doesn't have to be the very first candle. If the second candle, for instance, let me explain this. How do I explain this better? So let's say we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's Monday? Monday. London is here. Okay, so generally you mark up the high or low in that little area. So just in this specific occasion, the high and low happens to be both the first 4-hour candle. But if one of these candles happens to be higher or lower, then you take that as well. But yeah, you can take that, and then when you see that it gets taken, you can either jump in with the 4-hour candle and ride that puppy until Wednesday or Thursday. Let's see, where is Wednesday? Let's go Wednesday lunchtime. No, that's would be Wednesday just there. Not a bad little 8-hour trade. Let's see what would have happened here. Oh no, that was, so this is this week, so here we go. So Monday, London is here, is it? No, here. Okay. So we got here and here. And as you can see, the old candle has gone, even though it's kind of gone back inside. That is okay. Pow, and then we'll see how that goes. I'll just put it at this low for now. And then, so generally, oh, it is Wednesday. There you go, Wednesday. So Wednesday's going to be the day. We're already back here. Not the best, but generally you don't get a high this time of week and a low on the Tuesday. It's very rare to happen. So one of two things is going to happen. Either this is going to be the low of the week, and this is not going to be the high of the week, statistically, and so the price is going to push that way, in which case that I would lose, or this is going to remain the high of the week and this is going to get broken at some point later this week, in which case then I'd probably just stick it there, and that's a 2.8. It's not too bad. Can't complain about that, especially when you've got a nice little what was it, 8.12. Let's have a look at the previous week. Where is Sunday? Sunday looks like a big old L. Oh, that's a big, yeah, I probably, let's see, just here to here, so there's that. Where's Wednesday? Yeah, so you'd still be in profit, but so Wednesday at 1 PM. Let me just have a quick look at my stats. 1 AM it would be, wouldn't it? Not 1 PM. Gold, always believe in your soul. Gold weekly high low. Alright. Wednesday at 1. Only a 2% chance of that being the opposite low. So very unlikely that that was going to be the opposite. And oh no, but it was. Look at that. So yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have lost that week, but you would have lost the following week. There you go. That's a rare occurrence. Let's look at the previous week to that. So you can already tell this is a loss. Yeah, so here you would have traded actually bullish and then lost here, and then it would have continued going there. So it has had pretty good results in previous times. Obviously you get 1 loss there, 2 loss there, you got an 8 winner there and a just short of 3 winner there, which brings it back to a 9. Let's have a look at this one. Again, I think this is a loss as well. Holy. Yeah, that's a loss. It's come Monday. Yep, on the way that I would have traded. Oh, actually, yeah, no, I would have traded bullish and I would have lost. Okay, so that's taking it back to an 8. Anywho, I will leave that there for next week. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully get a nice little trade just there. Oh, I counted this as a win, didn't I, without it being a win. So yeah, we were just at what's it, 5%, which is, you know, still pretty good. Let's have one last little look at yeah, it's looking okay for it to be going to the. I would suggest that it has picked up liquidity and it's going to go to the bull side, but I'm not confident enough to be able to put a trade on for a few reasons. One, it's gone completely through here. Two, it's already pierced through the DR, so therefore technically it's a low probability for it to break the other side for at least the entire session. So those are the two main factors of why I would not be getting into a trade. And you got CPI. So if you're not expecting this to go that way during this session, then you just got to compete with CPI in the next session, which is no bueno at all. So yeah, sorry we didn't get much of a interesting session, guys. I was hoping that it would be more interesting, but you know, it is what it is. With the win you marked up, you held it till Wednesday, the week afterwards. So when you were only holding to Wednesday that week, it would have been quite a different result. Oh yeah, for sure. You're talking about the gold trade. Yeah. Actually, by the time you get to the end of the week, yeah, you're right back at square one, almost. There you go, that's the end of the week there. $2.66, and you almost got stopped out. And then Thursday, actually let's have a quick look at the stats again. Just the most optimal time to get out is, according to stats, Thursday at 9 AM. So where's Thursday at 9 AM? This is not finishing 9 AM, so at the beginning of 9 AM, which is right here. So if you'd, I mean, you know, that's not too bad. That is statistically the most common time that you get the second high or low of the week, followed by Friday at 1. Oh no, sorry, Wednesday at 1, then Friday at 1. Where is Wednesday at 1? There is Wednesday at 1. So that's the beginning, so you would miss out on the little push-up. This is the 8.5, I think we already looked at that. And then Friday at 1, which is right there. No. Oh, did I say 1 AM or 1 PM? PM for Friday. a.m. for Wednesday. There is no 1 p.m. Friday. Oh, there is there. There you go. So just here is where you would have got out. 2%. Yes. Anyway. That's all I got to say. Yeah, now it looks like the week ended a lot earlier. You looked at 2 weeks instead of 1. Huh? I don't understand. I thought I looked at 3 weeks. Didn't I look at 3 weeks? Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna skedaddle. Thank you for joining me in my various ramblings. Hopefully there was some imparted knowledge from me to you guys. I feel like mostly I just kind of rambled, but hey, sometimes you just gotta ramble. Look at the dates of your markup. Look at the dates of my markup. 1, 2. Oh, as in I went back 1 week instead of 2 weeks. Is that what you're trying to say? Or I went back... Oh, I missed a week. Aha. You're right. And this would have been a loss as well. Depending. Sunday. Monday. You would have entered... Yeah, I mean, it would either a loss or a break even. Oh well. Alright guys, I'm gonna... It's very easy to confuse me, Maxi. I don't know if you know this, but that's alright. I'm a simple man with simple needs. Alright guys, you all have a most glorious day. If you are trading, be very, very careful, because we've got CPI coming up in, what, 3 hours? So, yeah, probably not a good idea, you know.